Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Diane. Thank you for joining me today. In this video we are going to be making shower steamers. Okay, this is the mold that I'm going to be using, and this is by Kata Mold. It's the little tree mold, and these are the essential oils. So I'm using basil summery scent, and then I have my lemon eucalyptus, which is a nice bug fighter. It's a nice herbal botanical shower steamer that I'm making because I do have a soap that I've made, and it has basil, it has lavender, it has the lemon eucalyptus, which is really nice, and then it has rosemary in it. So it's a nice herbal botanical essential oil soap. So I wanted to pair it with a shower steamer, and Vermont is very mountainous, so this makes sense to use the trees. We have a lot of mountains here. It runs through the Appalachian Forest, runs through pretty much the middle of Vermont. So this is a nice reminiscence of all the evergreen trees that we have here in Vermont. Okay, so I'm going to add my baking soda, which I'm going to sift, and then I'll add my kaolin clay, which is white, and then I will add I'm adding an apple mica green mossy kind of color for this, it's like an herb garden, so I want it to be a little bit green and foresty looking. And I'm just using the basic recipe, and you'll see that on my description below if you want to use that recipe. Okay, and that just gets sifted. It just makes it easier to mix up, and if you've seen my other videos, I've always mentioned this. And then I'm going to add 2 ounces of my white kaolin clay, and that doesn't need to be sifted because it's already a powder. And that helps with the hardness of the shower steamer, so it lasts longer. Alright, so let's add this in there. So I'm going to mix it up and we'll see what it looks like. Actually, this is a teaspoon. That's fine. That'll be a nice color, huh? Look at that. So I have to tear this again. Let's have my spoon on there. And I do sift this, so the whole shop smells like an herb garden. And I'm making some little ones that I can put in a little package bag, like I do a set of, I think it's 10. I have that on my website, so if you're interested, I'll leave a link for that below. But this is a limited edition. So see, you always have some little specks and you just throw those out. So this is the last thing that you add. So I have that all measured. Okay, now I'm going to add the wet ingredients here. Lock it in. And I did kind of stir this up. I do have my mask on because the mica and all that. See how it kind of has all that coming up. Oh wow, isn't that pretty? Wow. That's really pretty. It's like a sage green. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Really happy with that. Sometimes it's hard to know with the micas, especially the amount that you use. But any mossy green works well, I think, with this theme of the herb garden, walking through the forest type scent. So I'll mix this up a little bit more. And I'm all out of that, so I might get some more. Of course, it will lighten up just a little bit when I add the citric acid. So let me just show you. See right there, isn't that pretty? It's really nice. Now I'm going to add my citric acid. And my shop is at 40% for the humidity. So you always want to make sure that's the first thing that you check. I know I should have probably mentioned that. But that's the first thing that you check. When you're making shower steamers or bath bombs, anything that the citric acid will actually react to. So it's like 40, it's like almost 75 degrees outside, but it's 45% in here for the humidity. And we have high humidity here in Vermont. It's supposed to be, I think it's like 50% today for the index of humidity outside. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be going up to like 60. When it gets above 60, it is oppressive. As the people in the South know, Florida and all that, I have nothing to complain about. It's really humid down there. Okay, let me stir it up one more time. And be ready to put it in the mold. Or a mold. There we go. So we'll do our test. Yep, drop it. It holds its form. That's what you want. Drop it. Breaks apart nice and easy. And I'm going to actually, in between making, because I'm using the Kata mold, the 3D printed mold, I'm going to put a paper plate on top of here. And it helps with the, rubbing alcohol. It dissipates and the essential oils actually evaporate. So as you're making your shower steamers, pressing them, it's evaporating, so it's drying out. So I don't want that. So in between, what I do is I actually put a paper plate right on top of it. All right, so now we're ready to mold. With the Kata molds, you have to have it a little bit wet. So either add a little distilled water or add some extra rubbing alcohol. So it's up to you what you want to do. So this is definitely more wet than I would normally have for my other shower steamers. So it's just a little bit of a learning curve. Okay, so that's 2 ounces. Okay, this has to go this way. This, because this has a little bit of an imprint thing right here. So alright, there we go. Okay, and I'm using my Arbor Press, which if you haven't seen my video on that, I'll leave that in the description box below on how to use the Arbor Press. And I just tap it right here. And just tap the sides. And voila! There you go. And I do press down a little bit. And then you just squeeze it up like this. Yeah, I think 2 ounces is very, see that little indent? That's why you have to have that. It has that little edge. It's very pretty. All right, so I'm going to flip it over. If you want to learn more about making shower steamers, I've included the playlist here. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.